Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to BK Money Matters platform. BK Money Matters platform is your one-stop channel for financial literacy. I want to thank you very much for the many ideas you've generated besides what you're learning on this channel. And I also want to thank you for the many questions you've raised to our mentors and coaches of financial literacy. And we shall endeavor all the time to try to answer this as we grow and understand the value of money. And today I would like to answer one of the basic questions you've raised regarding managing expenditure. And many of us have been asking a question like, where does my money go? I receive a salary, I'm well paid, but I never see where my money goes. And that question is resolving around expenditure and how you should be able to manage expenditure. And I'd like to say that there's nothing wrong with spending. And if you look at all the growing economies in the world, you find that many people within developing countries spend more. But the difference is that as they spend more, but they also earn more. So this question of where does my money go, it usually comes that actually I have less, but I end up spending more, or I end up spending all that I have. So I'd like to today to share a few tips on how you can build good spending habits. But the best good spending habits can be good if you increase your earning habits. But for today, I'd like to share a few ideas on how you can manage your expenditure. Number one key aspect you need to consider is that you have to avoid what we call impulse buying. Impulse buying happens that you're moving, you see something, or the day you get your money or the day you get your salary is when you see something good. And that something good was not on your plan, but you end up buying it. So that impulse buying has to be avoided if you really want to manage your money well. Number two, you have to spend on items that you really need. In our previous episode, we have shared on the difference between a need and want, and therefore it is always very important to know that you don't need everything. So therefore it is key that for you should be able to spend on what you really need. Number three, you have also to generate a kind of list at one point or the other, at least on a monthly basis, to track where does my money go? What do I spend on most? And when you look at that list, you realize that sometimes most of the things you spend money on are not necessarily important or needed. And therefore, when you look at that list, you should be able to cancel out what you don't need. And lastly, you have to avoid or build a habit of spending before you plan. Spending before you plan is a habit you have to avoid, and therefore how do you avoid it, or how do you build a good habit on that, is that you have to inculcate yourself into a habit of saving before spending. So whenever you get the money, no matter how much it is, you should be able to save a little of it before you spend. And these are the recipes for today as we continue to learn more. And I hope you can take sense and make more sense of your expenditures. But above all, you should now think more on how you plan for your earnings. And the more you earn, the less the expenditures. I want to thank you very much, and I want to remind you that to subscribe to our channel every day as you watch and share with others. Thank you very much.